Hello and welcome to FreePod for March 19th, 2026. I'm FreePod editor Jim Yeager, here to let you know that this week we have a very special episode. As we've done in years past, we handed over the reins to the Freeport High School journalism students to completely control this week's show. Every story you hear this week was written by and read out loud by one of these students. So please enjoy the hard work from these bright young students.
Freeport School District 145 announced a possible layoff of staff in an effort to solve a more than $11 million budget deficit. This process, called a reduction in force or a RIF, was announced to staff at the beginning of this month. The budget deficit is coming from rising costs for building maintenance and to provide health insurance to staff. Additionally, less money is coming in from the state and federal governments to help offset these costs. At this time, the school board is unwilling to raise property taxes to increase revenue. According to FSD 145, all positions are being reviewed and nothing is off the table. A statement from the district office said, "We did not wait for things to get worse before acting." At the start of the school year, every department, including the superintendent's office, was asked to reduce its budget by 20% in the first round, followed by an additional 22% reduction shortly after. Those were not easy cuts, but they were necessary ones. Freeport Education Association President Kelly Everding gave a speech to the board at its regularly scheduled meeting on March 3rd. Everding called on the board for transparency in this process. She also demanded the board review all positions for elimination and not just classroom, custodial, or transportation staff.
The fact that we are even having this conversation, the fact that the financial stewardship of this district has led us to a place where reducing the number of staff directly serving students every day is considered a necessary evil is a critical failure.
This district says staff will hear at the end of the month about if they will be laid off before it goes to the board for approval in early April.
Great Park will get more than $500,000 in upgrades by the end of next year, thanks to a new grant. The park will add a scenic nature overlook, an ADA accessible fishing pier, 2 new playgrounds, a rock climbing boulder, disc golf equipment, and new lighting for the pickleball courts. Work begins this summer and will be completed by December 2027. Pickleball players at the high school are looking forward to the new lights.
If there were lights, I'd probably just play all night until my mom made me come home or until everyone else left.
2 Freeport journalism students, Stephen Van and Cameron Bradbury, recently interviewed Governor J.B. Pritzker in January this year. The 2 drove to Lena and were eager to practice their interviewing skills with the governor. Bradbury asked a question about the Rockford Teachers Union potentially going on a strike, and Van asked a question about increasing economic developments in Stevenson and Joe Daviess counties. The 2 saw it as a good opportunity to experience a professional setting of journalism and to also experience a rare opportunity to meet with the governor of Illinois. Governor Pritzker was in town visiting Kolb and Lena. He announced that 50 new jobs were coming to the area because the cheese manufacturing factory will be expanding.
Selected juniors got opportunities prepared for the ACT with Tried and True, a test prep company provided by the Upward Bound. These selected students were close to be proficient on the pre-ACT, so Principal Haskins hopes the extra practice will help students become college ready on their actual tests. Students spent 1 week working on tests, taking strategies relating to the subject on the ACT. Students practice reading, English, math, and science. FHS students will take the ACT test on April 9th.
The high school is also working to improve its graduation rate by providing targeted support to students who are struggling with their grades. This semester, FHS hired an English interventionist to help students with reading and writing. Meanwhile, the math teachers pull students out of advisory to work on math assignments and related skills. These interventions help the high school get its freshman on-track levels to the highest levels ever. This is the rate of how many freshmen are on track to graduate within 4 years.
Journalism students are heading to their first national conference this year in Minneapolis. Selected students in the media production pathway will go on to an overnight trip conference to learn more about journalism. Media production teachers Jenna Kleindell and Haley Kurtz want students to have the opportunity to learn from industry professionals and other schools' programs. They hope the conference will help students in the media pathway further their media and communication skills.
Freeport FFA President Dylan Colberg was recognized at this area's Star Farmer and Beef Entrepreneurship Proficiency Award winner. Now, he's forging ahead to compete at the state level. Colberg earned these recognitions through his outstanding scholastic achievements, his active participation in FFA, management of his beef cattle, and record-keeping skills. Colberg will represent Freeport FFA of Section 1 FFA and has the chance to earn the highest award in his supervised agricultural experience area. He will finish with his final interview at the state-level competition at the end of March. Hear from Dylan Colberg and his FFA advisor, Brittany DeVries, about this special award.
Star Farmer is just the title. You're the best of the best.
So I would say that I am very proud of Dylan, but this is really a win for Dylan, and it's really just a testament to how much work that he has put in to his project.
Keondre Jackson, a current NFL player and a 2020 graduate, visited Freeport to speak with high school students and to donate a jersey to his former high school. With his return, Jackson held meet and greets with the students during their lunch periods, took interviews in Jenna Kleindell's video production class, and spoke to the entire school in an assembly held in the gym. Jackson returned to FHS to talk about his journey and to inspire students to never give up on their dreams.
Don't give up. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of different teachers, a lot of principals, resources that are stressed here that I can say all gave me good advice. I can pick and point little things here and there, but something that kind of stuck with me was just, Devin always told me, especially the situation that I come from, I can't let my situation dictate my future. I can't let that take control of where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? And that always stuck with me. So
Freeport High School again has a state wrestling champion. Treyden Diduch placed first in the 2A 106-pound wrestling division in Champaign last month. Diduch went nearly undefeated in the regular season before becoming the regional and sectional champion. Diduch is the first boys wrestling champion since Markel Baker won in 2022.
3 athletes from FHS scored more than 1,000 points this past winter basketball season at Freeport High School. Andrew Seward, KZ Moorhead, and Aaliyah Martin all achieved this impressive feat this year. According to their coaches and other players, these 3 athletes are all talented shooters who consistently scored throughout their high school careers, which led them to reach 1,000 career points.
The girls' soccer team has its first fresh-off team in over 15 years. Nearly 45 girls tried out for the team this year. Coach Matt Janisic said the Pretzels have lots of new potential talent to work with.
It's going to help us meet the girls where they're at. So a lot of girls have never played before. So we'll be able to do a lot of foundational, fundamental things to build them up. But then it also lets us coach some of the girls that have been playing longer in a way that helps them too.
The Freeport boys tennis team has returned for their spring season this year, following a historic back-to-back undefeated Nick 10 conference titles in 2024 and 2025, their first conference titles in 30 years. Unfortunately, the team has lost more than half of its varsity team, but they still hope to make a great success. However, the team has a wave of close to 20 freshmen hoping to rebuild their depth for the future seasons.
The girls' track team is back competing this year with all of their star state qualifying runners returning again. Last year's state qualifying relay team includes McElroy twins, Talia and Tanaya, Angela Main, and Kanaya Fletcher, who are all warming up and preparing to break new records. During the indoor season so far, Talia has already placed first at an indoor meet and broke a school record.
Turning now to the events going on in the community, Freeport High School Varsity Choir and Jazz Band are preparing for the 46th annual Showtime performance. They will leave for tour in just a few days, heading off to Nashville, Tennessee. Showtime director Ryan Jensen says he's looking forward to leading his first Showtime performance.
Showtime is on track to be a great show, and I feel like we are going to have a show that not only is great in its own respect, but honors the legacy and tradition of the past 45 years of Showtime. And I'm just excited to give the students in the varsity choir this opportunity to showcase their talents.
You can watch the Showtime performance April 9th through 12th at the Jeanette Lloyd Theater.
The League of Women Voters will host an information talk about the role of probation within the criminal justice system. The director of the Stevenson County Probation Department, Dr. Joanne McGee, will lead the presentation on how probation works to prevent future crime and restore a person back into the community. The program will be on Tuesday, March 24th at 6:30 p.m. in the Freeport Public Library.
And that will wrap up this week's show. But before we go, please remember to check out this past week's special interview as FreePod host Alan Wenzel spoke with Marcia Myers of the Lions Club. This coming Tuesday, FreePod host Tim Connors speaks with Denny Garkey from Little Cubs Field. The two will talk about the history of this very special project in the Pretzel City, as well as what plans Denny has for the field moving forward. As always, we'd like to thank our partners at WNIJ in DeKalb for helping to share FreePod to a larger community, and the Mass Communication Department at Highland Community College for producing this podcast. Please like us on Facebook, subscribe on the podcast platform of your choice, and share with your friends. If you'd like to make a tax-deductible contribution to support local news content, please visit our website at www.freepod.org. This has been FreePod. Thank you for listening.